everybody, it's Kelly here with Summit Healthcare, bringing you another workout of the week. Today's routine is going to be a floor stretch. You are able to follow along in a chair, no problem, but I recommend grabbing a yoga mat and a yoga blanket or a pillow. Just get some extra cushion, whatever you typically use when you stretch on the floor. Go ahead and get your station set up and let's get ready for the workout. All right, everyone, make your way to the floor if you're gonna follow along seated. You can also be elevated up on your couch or a chair. Grab as much cushion as you need. I've got my blanket here. You can also use any extra pillows that you may need. Be as comfortable and cushy as you need. We're gonna sit nice and tall, and you can close your eyes for this portion if you like, because this is all about just relaxing, easing our breath, and getting in tune with our body. Sitting nice and tall, we're gonna begin by taking a big breath in and exhale. Another. Good. One more big breath in and out. Go ahead and return to your natural breath here. And we're gonna tilt the chin towards the chest. Feeling that stretch through the cervical spine. Gently bring that neck back up to center. And we're gonna look over the right shoulder. Again, just breathing naturally. Back to center, and let's look over the other shoulder. And back to center. And let's complete a half circle. So we're gonna tilt the chin down toward the chest. Circle up to the right shoulder, back down to center, and circle over the left. Two more times through center, to the right, through center, to the left. Last time, center, to the right, center, to the left. Good, and return to natural. Let's circle those shoulders around nice and big. Big breaths here. Good, let's take that left arm up and over into a side bend, just breathing naturally. And release. Let's take that left arm up and over. And return to center. We're going to take that left arm as it comes over to the opposite side here. Now I'm going to twist behind me, just reaching for the couch or the floor, wherever you're able to reach. And we want to sit up nice and tall here for a spinal twist. Good. Return to center. And let's repeat for the other side here. So I'm going to bring that arm across to the outer thigh, reaching behind if you can for the floor. And keeping that chest lifted, taking 3 breaths. And return to center. Let's go ahead and reach that arm up tapping the shoulder. And we're gonna push that tricep up, elbow towards the ceiling, reaching those fingertips down the spine. If you have that flexibility, we wanna reach this arm overhead, pulling back on that elbow for a deeper stretch. Try not to pull on your neck. We're lifted and breathing. One more breath. Good, and release, dropping those shoulders from the ears. And let's take that other arm, tapping the back of the shoulder. Lifting that elbow towards the ceiling. Reaching overhead if we can, keeping everything nice and lifted and breathing. Good, releasing those shoulders from the ears, maintaining a nice and tall posture, heart over the hips. And let's roll the wrists nice and easy. Going both directions. Good, and I want us to reach our left arm out to the side. And we're gonna rotate those palms up toward the ceiling and even behind us a little bit. So we wanna rotate as much as we are able, in and out. Now we're gonna take the chin looking the opposite direction. Just nice and easy here. Bring your head back to center and release that arm. We're gonna take the other arm out to the side, rotating up to the ceiling, down to the floor and behind as much as we're able. And repeating that rotation nice and slow. Now we want to look over to the other side as we continue that rotation. Notice if there's any tingling or pain or stretch, as this is something we don't do on an everyday basis. Good, return to center, relax that arm. We're gonna do our shoulder stretch, so just taking one arm across the body, reaching through the tricep to the shoulder. We wanna make sure that we drop it from our chin and we're pulling across the body. As we open up, let's switch over to the other side, reaching for that tricep to the shoulder, dropping that shoulder from the chin and pulling across the body, nice and easy. Good. We're gonna take both hands flexed, facing forward. We're gonna open up, reaching behind, pinching those shoulder blades together. Reach up towards the ceiling and back down to the front. So we're gonna open here, keeping those palms flexed, reaching up overhead and down to the front. Good. Let's match the breath here, in and out. In and out. Good, big inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good, go ahead and lower those arms as they may be getting tired. We're gonna go ahead and get up onto our mat. You can Use your furniture, use your chair. You can also follow along seated. We're gonna go ahead and get into a quad and hip flexor stretch. So using any padding that you may need and getting up nice and slow. I wanna arrange my padding under my knees. And now I'm gonna go ahead and place one foot in front of the other, so I'm up in a lunge position. These toes back here are untucked, so the top of the foot is on the mat. I'm gonna go ahead and sink these hips forward, nice and easy until you feel that stretch. Hands to the hips. And I want you to take this at your own pace. So you're just gonna sink forward as much as feels good to you. And make sure that you're pressing into the floor with that front foot to stay balanced, using your core, squeezing your glutes. And you can sink all the way down until that stretch is starting to release. Wherever your body will go today, that's what I want you to do. Don't push. Listen to your body. Good. We're gonna come up and we're gonna straighten that leg out. So I'm on my heel, this leg is straight. If this is too much pressure on your knee, you can go ahead and return to flattening that foot, using that as an assistance. And we're just gonna push, we're gonna straighten that leg as we lean forward. By being up on our heel, it's just gonna be a deeper hamstring stretch. By keeping that foot flat on the mat, you're just gonna get more of a calf stretch, and that's okay. Neither is wrong, just different. So if you're able, up on that heel, hamstring stretch. Good. Nice and easy. Now we're going to do that hip flexor stretch one more time. Putting the toes and the heel firm into the floor, sinking forward. Allowing the hips to open up here, breathing natural. Again, if you're in a chair, you're following along seated by doing the calf stretch, or excuse me, the quad stretch, where our leg is just to the side of the chair. Good. Nice and easy, we're gonna take that other knee down, so you're in a tabletop position. And we're gonna go into a cat-cow. Squeezing those fingertips into the mat to relieve some of that wrist pressure. Knees are hip distance apart and under the hips. My shoulders are lined with my wrists. I'm gonna arch the back here. And good, matching the breath here. Big exhale and inhale. Just take it nice and slow, whatever feels good to you. This also can be followed along seated in your chair with your hands to heart and just following along with the upper body in your cat-cow. One more time. Good. From here, we're going to bring those feet together and we're going to sit back into our child's pose. And if you're able, you can rest that forehead to the floor. Coming back up into our tabletop position. I'm going to bring my other leg forward now into that lunge stance using any assistance that I need. I'm going to squeeze my toes and heel into the mat as I sink forward, beginning to open up this hip and hip flexor here. You have to back off and then ease back into it. Just listen to your body. Again, if you're following along from a chair, this is our quad stretch where we take the other leg off to the side of the chair. Good, we're gonna sit back into that hamstring stretch if you're able. Otherwise, you can keep that foot flat on the mat. Just keep a soft bend in that knee and we're gonna hinge forward. You probably feel the stretch in your anterior tib. Good, and back into that hip flexor stretch one last time. Good. We're gonna gently come to our seated position. So take your time, adjust your cushions as needed. And we're just gonna finish with a relaxed state here. So you can get your padding, get nice and comfortable, but sitting nice and tall in a good posture. You can finish this part of the workout in a chair, but we're just gonna close our eyes. And I just want you to focus on the breath here. We're gonna take in 10 slow, deep breaths, just bringing in some really good oxygen to the body. So I want you to close your eyes if you haven't already, and begin with a big inhale. With each breath, I want you to drop those shoulders from the ears and lift your chest even more. Just at your own pace for taking 10 deep breaths. Good. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Great job today, everyone. This routine can easily be repeated for a further stretch. I just wanted to keep it short and sweet because we were on the floor and I want to be aware of any potential knee injuries, and I don't want anyone to push their bodies past what they are comfortable with. So if you are that person that has been doing floor stretches for some time, please go ahead and re-watch the video to get a deeper stretch and really help opening up the hips and the upper body. I hope you enjoyed this stretch with me. You guys looked so great, and I'll see you next time. For your health tip today, I'm going to talk to you about a hand roller. I know I've mentioned these before, but I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite ways to use one. The first one is for my quads. I like to extend a leg out, but keeping the knee slightly bent. And I'm going to take the roller and put some pressure on as much that feels good and tender. And I'm going to roll over the quad muscles. So I'm just rolling up and down, and I'm making my way all the way over to my adductor muscles, through the center, and into the adductor muscles. So what you might feel is some crunching or some of the muscles moving over one another. When you hit a really tender spot that's sensitive, that means that's tight fascia and we want to help release that. So then you can just kind of sit, you can rock side to side a little bit and go all the way up to that knee bone, because that's where the tendons and ligaments are, and those can hold a lot of tension. So don't be afraid of the pressure. Obviously you don't want anything to hurt, but you can use a variety of hand rollers. There are some smooth. Heck, you can even use a rolling pin. But this is one of the tightest muscles and most difficult to stretch. So using the hand roller is really great for stretching the quads. The other muscle that I love using the hand roller for is the calves. Our calves get so tight and we don't stretch them enough, and that can lead to poor ankle mobility. So same thing, you can extend the leg out just a little bit here, and I'm gonna take the roller and I'm gonna press into that calf muscle. Now the calf is a big meaty muscle, almost looks like an upside down heart. So what you wanna do is really get up in there and make that muscle move, and you'll find some tender spots. For me, I like to roll up and down under the knee all the way to the ankle, and then I'll spend some time on those tender spots, just kind of doing short rolls. It's super important to keep the body mobile and flexible to prevent injury and pain, but sometimes assistant devices like a hand roller can really help get into that fascia that we don't always stretch enough or we have trouble stretching.